As we all know by now, there was a terrible tragedy in Orlando, Florida. A lone gunman walked into a club and murdered or injured over 100 people. We here at ADD would like to send our sincere condolences out to the victims and their families. All right, guys, so the central issue when it comes to tragedies like this seems to be gun control.
Yep.
All right, now the law at the center of gun control is the Second Amendment, which gives every American the right to bear arms.
Right.
Do we think that we should have that right in this country?
Absolutely. I mean, you got to think about stuff like this. Like, it just makes you vulnerable. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of homies that's, you know, that they carry guns not because they're trying to be tough, but you'd rather be caught with it than caught without it. Because if somebody else got a gun and you just don't because you're doing the right thing, you just might lose your life.
I have no problem with the right to bear arms. I think certain arms, we should not have those arms. Like, I don't know why a regular person needs an AR-15.
Exactly.
Like, you ain't going hunting with an AR-15. Like, what do I need a semi-automatic assault rifle?
Now, the Orlando shooter and the San Bernardino shooters, they all used AR-15s.
Right.
And the San Bernardino shooters, they had special attachments to their AR-15s that made them fully automatic. And like when a regular citizen can walk around with that gun, it means that one person can kill dozens of people.
Hundreds.
You
Like,
know what I mean?
100 people, like, even if I have the right to bear arms and I just got a handgun, a pistol or whatever, if you got an AR-15, we are not at the same fight. Like, you got an AR-15, the police have a problem with somebody who has an AR-15.
Right.
Like, I just don't think I don't think people should have assault rifles. I think you should have handguns, shotguns, hunting rifles.
One of the bigger things that has evolved in this debate is stricter background checks for purchasing guns.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Now, some of the laws that they're thinking about passing is stuff like the no-fly, no-buy. Yes. Whereas if you're on the FBI's no-fly list, you can't buy a firearm. The Orlando shooter had been questioned twice by the FBI.
Right.
You know what I mean? If a guy like that, who's already been brought in twice on suspected terrorism, can still walk into a store and buy a gun, there's a problem.
I think that buying a gun should be one of the most difficult and rigorous things you have to go through.
There should be very, very severe penalties if you get caught with an assault rifle, like 25-year minimums. Just like how they put out all these stringent laws about crack cocaine in the black neighborhoods. If you get caught with an assault rifle, 30 years off the rip. I bet your ass won't get caught with one then.
For example, right now we have background checks. Now, they may not be as stringent as we want them to be, but we still have a system of barriers that you have to get through before you can own a gun.
Like, when I was in Washington, you could walk into a gun shop and buy a shotgun. 12 gauge.
Because they consider it a recreational gun.
This is not even a joke. I had to go through more training and testing to work at Burger King.
That is a fact.
Like, I had to get a food handler's card. I had to take 3 days. Like, bro, to put bread in a bun warmer?
They just had a newswoman, walk into the same store that they believe that the Orlando gunman got his weapon from. And it only took her 7 minutes to buy the exact same gun that he had. 7 minutes. She tried to hand it over to the police. She said it took more time to turn the gun into the police than it did to buy it.
It took more time to turn it in than it did to buy it?
Exactly.
Would you say the problem is the guns or the people? Or is it a combo of both?
It's a combo of both, and it's the politicians.
Yeah.
The thing that we haven't mentioned is that the gun industry is a billion-dollar industry, and anytime you have people who have money, and those people who have money have the chance to influence the people that make the laws, that's why gun violence is going to happen.
Now you took it with grease, because basically that's the same thing like with cigarettes. Like, cigarettes have been outlawed.
Big tobacco had a lot of influence over politics, the same way that the NRA and big guns have the same influence over politics.
If you give somebody $1 million for their campaign and say you need to vote against this assault rifle ban, and that $1 million is going to get you in office, you're voting against that assault rifle ban.
So is the argument of self-defense really a good reason to own a gun?
Kev, you have a wife, you have sons. Like, how do you feel just as a person walking the streets? How can I even protect my family? Like, I just feel so vulnerable and naked. Like, when I heard that happen, I'm like, I'm getting a gun.
It's always I need a gun because a robber may break into my house.
Right.
That's what people always say, but that doesn't happen as likely as you get into it with your neighbor and then you run and get the gun. If me and you are arguing, right? We're about to get into a fight and you're killing it, and I have a gun in my back pocket. You think I'm about to just get beat up and I feel like I'm about to die if I have a gun? No.
When it comes to like black or urban communities, these like big shootouts, these shootings aren't seen as an act of terrorism. They're seen as just like
them niggas over there killing each other.
Right. If you add up all the gang-related,
casual bystanders that died,
all the casualties from gun violence in Los Angeles over like the last 10 years, I'm sure it quadruples the amount of people killed in these mass shootings.
Now people getting shot in clubs at retirement parties. Like, It's scary as shit.
If you have the stance that no one should own a gun, that we should throw out the Second Amendment, all of a sudden, like, the threat of that is washed away. Now, all of a sudden, only law enforcement agencies, only military have guns.
And that's the thing, the difference between the right to bear arms and a for-profit business model.
Right.
Like, no problem, like, the gun industry doesn't have to be it's like $10 or $11 billion a year.
Jeez.
Yeah. And let's keep it real. When our forefathers, you know, the white guys who made the laws, when they wrote, you know, the Second Amendment, they were farmers defending themselves against, you know, the British government.
Right.
And they were working with rifles that you had to spend 5 minutes loading and shit. So they was like, yeah, everybody should have one of those.
Yeah.
They didn't foresee people being able to
The AR-15
Yeah, they didn't
on
foresee
full
that.
automatic.
The founding fathers made it so that we can amend laws. You know what I mean? In the Constitution. And I don't think they ever meant for any law in the Constitution to be concrete forever.
The thing that bothers me the most about this is just a cycle. The Sandy Hook, San Bernardino, all the way back from Columbine. When Columbine first happened, I was in high school. I was like, this is crazy. This will probably never happen again. Now we just repeat the same cycle. Goes crazy. A whole bunch of politicians tweet out, we're so sorry to the loss. We get mad for a couple weeks, and then we go back to our lives until it happens again. We repeat the same cycle. I feel like we got to do one or two things. We got to either stop saying we have a gun control problem or do something about it.
Thank you guys so much for watching The Cooler. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to All Def Digital. And let us know in the comments where you guys stand on the gun control debate. Thank you so much for joining our discussion. I'd like to thank my special guest.
Your boy, Dope Boy.
Kevonstage.
And I'm Jon Scarlett. Thanks for watching, you guys.